Mailbag time, people. Rickson Lane, Reese Funderburg back with us. Fast Lane Mailbag edition number 6. lanewusc@gmail.com is the email address. The Twitter handle is @FastLaneSports. All your questions right here. We'll get to them. What do we have first?
Well, this one comes from Frederick from Columbia, South Carolina. What it represent? What is your prediction for the Reedy River rivalry?
That's a tough one. That depends on what happens tonight, because I feel like tonight Clemson's
their best pitcher's up tonight.
Clemson's got to win tonight.
Right.
Well, both teams' best pitchers are up, but Clemson has to win tonight because their best pitcher's up. Daniel Gossett's their best starter. They're at home, and you're coming off a midweek loss to Winthrop at home. If they don't win tonight, then I feel like the odds of them losing the series and getting swept are exponentially greater.
Right. I'll say a 2-1 split in favor of South Carolina. That's probably what I'll go with.
Yeah, I mean,
it's either I feel confident that the home game Sunday will go in our favor, but there's always that neutral site that you're just not sure of, and then I don't know. You always got to worry about the best pitcher in the lineup.
Yeah,
even if you're sitting your own.
I feel like Carolina's weekend starters as a whole are stronger, but Gossett can shut down anybody. So if Clemson wins tonight, then it would not surprise me if they win this series. If Clemson loses tonight, I would be shocked if they came back and won the next two. So I guess that would be my prediction for that one.
Good question, Frederick. All right, if Dennis Rodman can save us from North Korea, who should we send to Iran? Okay, Heath.
Heath and Marlboro. Johnny Football.
That's a good one.
He's not doing anything. He's taking those on. He's not even taking classes at A&M. He's taking them
online. Yeah.
He's not busy.
That's the new thing. Everyone's doing them.
Ship him over there to him and Ahmadinejad can toss around the pigskin.
It's pretty eccentric right there. That's a good one. Let's see. Murda. I'm sorry if I get this wrong. From Hartsville, South Carolina. My family goes to Lizard's Thicket often, and we always have trouble deciding between rolls or cornbread. Which side do you take on this debate? All right. I've had this problem before. Let me just go ahead and say. Because there's always half the family that wants rolls and half of it that wants cornbread. And it's different every time. Half the family will want it one time, and then they'll flip-flop the next time you go. I like cornbread more. I'm a cornbread person.
Okay.
What do you got?
I'm a roll.
You're a roll?
I like the roll. I've never liked cornbread. I don't know why, and my family's the same way. But we're not very. We can come to an agreement typically. Nothing. It doesn't get hostile at the Lizard's Thicket. But I like rolls preferably, but I can choke down a piece of cornbread if I need to.
It's pretty dry. Depends.
Yeah, I can't. It's crumbly. It's like a muffin without flavor.
That's true. It's true. Now that the Big East has lost its name, isn't it time to eliminate conferences altogether? From Frank in Columbia, South Carolina. No. You're not going to get rid of all the conferences.
No. I think the rule should be, though, if you've lost your conference name to 7 Catholic schools and 2 A10 schools, you're not a BCS conference anymore.
That's fair.
I mean, the 7 Catholic conferences just walked out there and said, by the way, we're taking the name. And the Big East didn't do anything.
Well, what are they going to do?
I mean, what are you going to call the league?
They're too weak to do it.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to call the league now? I mean, you're not going to get rid of all the conferences because the SEC, that would never happen.
The SEC is too strong for it.
That would never happen in the SEC.
Big Ten still got it.
Mm-hmm.
ACC is still up there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fighting, but...
The ACC is a more stable Big East. Like in terms of national respect, the ACC. I'm talking about football.
They've got so much academics though, and basketball going on. That they always have it.
Yeah, I mean football is what makes all the money. That's what's killing the Big East.
Right.
But the ACC is so strong in basketball, and they have that history that that'll never happen. What will happen eventually, I think, is you'll go to 4 conferences. You'll have the SEC,
Big Ten,
the Big 10, the Big 12, and the Pac-12.
Pac-12.
I think the ACC may get separated because Florida State wants out.
There's just so much historic, value to it, though.
Yeah, I mean to answer Frank's question, I don't think they're going to eliminate conferences, but I think some conferences are going to be eliminated.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense at all.
All right. Eric from Clinton, South Carolina. Who are your number 1 seeds for the NCAA tournament? All right. I don't like picking this already because we still have 3 weeks to go. I got into an argument about this actually yesterday. So let's look at it this way. You still have probably 2 weeks of games left, and then you have a whole week of conference tournaments to go. All right. Probably in 2 weeks before the conference tournaments start, you'll have about 95% of what you want to do for your bracket number 1 seeds. But there's still that 5%, chance of an upset, teams that are going to get in.
Yeah.
I look at it this way. If I had to pick now, I'm going to put Gonzaga. I'm going to put Indiana.
Okay.
Probably Michigan.
Okay.
And I don't know it. That last seed is just tricky, Maybe Duke, but Michigan State's making a case.
Yeah.
There's just so much that you can do with that. I'm not.
You just named the 3 that I knew I'd put in. I put in Indiana, Gonzaga, and Michigan. For the 4th, I mean,
that's anyone's game right now.
Well, Duke just got hammered by Virginia.
And they've got Miami again tomorrow, too.
Yeah. I would, honestly, I'd probably give it to Miami at this point.
There's still 2 weeks left to decide it.
Yeah.
Miami, though, I'll put it this way. Miami has no more ranked opponents on the schedule.
Yeah.
Once it's Duke's done, they're through. They should have an easy ride.
Yeah.
If they beat Duke tomorrow or tonight, it's one of those.
Yeah, I don't remember.
If they beat Duke, they probably deserve the number 1 seed.
Do we even have to have number 1 seeds this year? Because no one wants to be ranked in the top 5 this year. They're holding the number 1 ranking like a hand grenade.
Historically, the number 1 seed's not that good.
No.
It's bad luck.
No.
I mean, other than Kentucky winning last year, who else has won as the number 1 seed in the last 20 years?
No, and you rarely get all 4 of them even making it to the Final Four. So, I mean,
Kansas can make a case, but they're
Kansas
coming off week 2.
I have a hard time putting a team as a number 1 seed when their own coach called them the worst team in school history.
Right.
So, and obviously they're not, but I mean, I don't know.
What about Florida?
Florida's taking a downturn. I can't get that Arkansas beat down out of my mind. So I don't know. We don't just eliminate the 1 seeds. Just have 8 2 seeds. That's what all these teams.
It's about fair right now. I mean,
yeah. Sorry, Eric. We kind of got off there, but yeah.
Good question though. Good question.
Indiana, Zaga, and Michigan for sure.
Love the NCAA tournament.
The 4th was up for grabs.
Bethany from Columbia, South Carolina. Let's see. What would your ideal group for a Harlem Shake video be? Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Hello.
I'm going to go with that.
Hey.
You can actually go and buy like a trip to the swimsuit that they're making, the calendar.
Yeah.
$7,000.
I did not know that.
Go check that out.
I will not be putting down $7,000.
I'm not either, but
let's see. Harlem Shake video. I would like to see one. I'd like to see one with the most outspoken, overdressed NFL fans. Just like the 30 craziest fans in the NFL. Because you would have a hard time trying to decide at the beginning in the first 15 seconds. Who's going to just sit there? I think that would be cool to have them all sitting there in like business casual.
Just the mascots.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one.
Yeah, I'd like to have crazy fans, like guys like Fireman Ed, people like that. Even though he's retired, but guys like that, and just have them sit there in like slacks and a button up, and then all of a sudden you go to all their dress up and all that. I think that would be cool.
Good question, Bethany. This one comes from Robert from Anderson, South Carolina. With spring football approaching, who should be the starter at quarterback for USC?
I'm going with the guy that's 17-3 as a starter in the SEC.
That's my guess.
Yeah, I would. I love Dylan Thompson to death, but I'm going to go with
experience wins up.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the starter for the 2 most winningest teams in program history. Call me crazy.
It's just whatever. I mean, the only problem with that is he's coming off the foot surgery and he won't be there for spring practice, but that's not going to hurt his chances.
Stephen Garcia was never there for spring practice.
He's not going to hurt his chances.
Spring practice isn't important.
Right.
Yeah. So, Connor Shaw.
Connor takes a lot of heat, which he doesn't deserve.
No, he really doesn't. Connor Shaw is the most scrutinized 17-3 quarterback.
Right.
If you had told Carolina fans in the year 1999. You know, in like 10 years, you're going to have a guy who's going to go 17-3 in the SEC. They would have lost their minds.
Couldn't agree more.
And now people are saying, well, why is he starting? Why didn't he come off the bench? It's ridiculous.
Let's see. And you can't throw. I'm sorry. I'm gonna.
No, go ahead.
How can you say Connor has a problem throwing when he completed what NCAA record 21 passes in a row?
Yeah, completed 21 passes in a row, but he can't throw the ball.
Right.
Crazy.
Sorry. Let's see. James from Denton, South Carolina. I'm preparing for my NCAA tournament pool. Any suggestions for filling out brackets? Well, like we said earlier, James, you got to wait for the teams to come out.
That 1/16 game is probably a good lock. I'd go with the ones in that matchup.
I'll probably take most of the twos to win too.
Yeah.
Watch for your 3 and 4 seeds. There's probably going to be at least one upset in those, and maybe 5 too.
Yeah. My biggest the thing that I always try to do, and speaking as a guy who put St. Mary's in the Final Four last year, so no, I obviously know what I'm doing when it comes to bracketology.
I didn't do so bad last year.
Don't think about it because you don't know. You don't know who's going to win.
Don't second guess yourself.
If your bracket takes more than 8 minutes to fill out, you're doing it wrong. Just bam, 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 bam. Go for it. Because you don't have any idea who's going to win this game, and neither does anybody else. Right. So you have as good a shot as anybody.
I will say this. I'm probably going to put a couple of teams going a little farther than I would normally. I'm going to have Kansas probably making it to my Elite Eight. When normally in the last 2 years they've let me down, except for they were in the finals last year, but
yeah, that's true.
But they've let me down historically. I'm not sticking with Duke.
If Duke is matched up against a double-digit seed that starts with an L, they're losing. Lamar, Lehigh, Lafayette, any of them. Don't trust it.
And don't trust Gonzaga either. I don't know. I'm not feeling it this year.
West Coast, but all our California.
Only win by 5 against a BYU team.
All our California viewers are going to be very upset with you. Or Washington. Now they're going to be upset with me because I don't know where Gonzaga is. Sorry, y'all.
That's all right.
Love the West Coast.
Let's see. We got Donald from Columbia, South Carolina. Columbia, South Carolina's representing this.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot of questions today. Good job. What are the ugliest uniforms in sports?
How about those Adidas atrocities that they came out with this week for basketball?
Oh, you're talking about the sleeves?
Basketball jerseys with sleeves. There's an idea. And it's not...
That's what I was thinking too.
It's not just the sleeves either. It's the hippie sort of...
Right.
Look like you've been clawed to death.
Well, we are in Golden State.
Like the Louisville jerseys, they're like, it's red with pink and white random. So it looks like they've been mauled by like a cat with rabies. It looks terrible.
That's true.
If I'm a college athlete, I mean, and obviously they can't do this.
How?
But would you not just say, I'm not wearing that? Would you not go to your coach when they come and say, you know what, we're not going to wear these. We look stupid.
Do you remember the Maryland uniforms?
The football ones?
Yeah, the ones that had the state.
They are burned into my brain.
That's my guess on ugly.
The state pride uniform with the helmets things.
Yep, all over them.
Maryland somehow made Oregon look tame last football season. No, Maryland's were terrible. But these basketball uniforms, they're going to wear them in the conference tournaments. I think it's going to be Louisville, Notre Dame. I think Georgetown might be wearing them. They're going to be atrocious. A lot of options, but I'm going with the Adidas basketball duds.
This question comes from Arlene from Orangeburg, South Carolina. What is the best sports book you've ever read?
I don't read. Friday Night Lights.
That's probably my guess too.
I've probably read that book half a dozen times. Great book.
It's classic.
Yeah. Wasn't a big fan of the movie. Didn't love the movie. After I'd read the book, the movie was kind of a letdown.
The book's always better.
Yeah, and they put in a lot of stuff that I didn't think really needed to be put in.
Well,
like they end up. I mean, I understand like if it's a huge movie, like they play in the state championship in the movie, and they didn't in real life,
right.
But.
It's cinematic effect that you have to
have. I know. It bothered me.
If you don't have it,
Yeah.
people are going to be like, well, make another one.
Yeah, I know. It just, I don't know. It bugged me a little bit. And I like Billy Bob Thornton in it, though. And I normally don't like him. But I really liked him as Gary Gaines in that movie.
There's a lot of good sports movies that just aren't coming from books.
Yeah, that's true.
You kind of wish, like, Mighty Ducks or Angels in the Outfield should come from a book.
Angels in the Outfield is a great movie. Fantastic movie. But a lot of the sports books don't even lend themselves to movies. I read one over Christmas break by Chris Ballard, who writes for Sports Illustrated, about a little high school baseball team in like Illinois in like the 1970s. And it was actually they put an excerpt of it in a Sports Illustrated issue, and then the whole book was fantastic. But that's probably the best sports book I've read recently. But Friday Night Lights is the best one I've ever read.
I think I'll probably go down with that.
Go down Friday Night Lights. Shout out Permian, Odessa. We're done.
Thanks for your questions.
Enjoy it. Check it out. Reese has a new article on FitzNews.com about the Showtime Lakers. So check that out. It's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
We'll be back Monday, 8 to 10. WUSC 90.5. You can keep sending in your questions all week. We just rack them up at the end of the week. LaneWUSC@gmail.com.
Check this guy out.
At Fastlane Sports. Yeah, I'm okay. Peace.